everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today, I'm actually gonna go shopping at a few estate sales and hopefully the Kobe swap meet to see if I can try to find some furniture for my bedroom. Ever since I've been working on the mood board for that room, I've been really inspired and I wanna find some unique pieces. And I've been on Facebook Marketplace forever. I've been looking everywhere else that I can, and I'm just not seeing anything in my price range. So I really need to keep my eye out and get out there and start looking. I feel like everything I like is really chic and expensive, and it's just hard to have the vision of my space match the actual reality of it. But I did come to some conclusions about some things that could be either purchased secondhand or DIY'd. So I wanted to bring you guys along with me today as I checked out two different estate sales. One of them's from I think a 1910s home, and the other one just apparently is selling a lot of Santa Fe and South American art and furniture. So I wanted to check those out to see if there's anything interesting there, whether it's small pieces of decor that can kind of dictate the direction and mood of the room, or hopefully I'm looking for really affordable furniture pieces that are unique and vintage that I can take home today. So let's go out there and see what we can find. So even though I'm looking for my bedroom, I saw these really cute art pieces that reminded me of the garden.
Oh my gosh, this is cute.
And I kind of like the one on the left better. And I thought maybe I could put these in the kitchen nook, but at the end of the day, I ended up leaving them behind. But there was a lot of really interesting art here.
This is kind of a cool metallic.
Now, one thing that really caught my eye in this garage is this really cool lamp. I haven't seen one that looks like this with this base, and I really like the shape of the shade and also the wood veneer on it. So as long as it worked, I was definitely going to take it home. So all of these items were really pretty, and I absolutely loved a lot of them and would love to have taken them home. I love that they were made out of quality materials and had really interesting shapes. I think that's the one reason I absolutely love estate sales sometimes over thrifting, because you can just find really unique pieces that I don't ever see anywhere else. A great piece to look for in the kitchen that's actually usable and doesn't have to be decor related is enamelware, like this little double boiler. Enamelware is really hard to come by, and it's definitely worth something to a lot of people because it's super durable and it lasts through the ages. I also really loved this bird art. I honestly think I loved the frame more, but I did like something about the delicate nature of this. I don't usually feel super attracted to really delicate pieces. I'm definitely more of a minimalist or modernist when it comes to art, but I keep feeling like the breakfast nook or even the primary bathroom might be great places to have pieces like that. Now that I've officially started the search for my bedroom, I'm always looking at nightstands on Facebook Marketplace, and these were kind of tempting. I thought I might change out the knobs to make them a little bit more modern, but I think the embellishments would make it look too antique and not in the Spanish way, so I decided to pass on them. But $50 each for a nightstand is such a good deal.
This is pretty.
It's funny that I always want to go more modern in my home, but I just feel like the Spanish vibes are constantly calling my name, and anytime I see something that resembles that Spanish revival era, I really want to bring it into the house. But I've never really wanted my house to feel really themed. I kind of like that eclectic look. I like that I find things from all over the place, from different eras, and as long as the shapes and the tones and the textures are all cohesive and they kind of work with each other, I think that look is so much more interesting and has a lot more depth than just sticking to one style in a home. So I do try to find ways to bring in those modern, minimal, clean lines and also bring in a color palette that I tend to be leaning toward. And with this process, I feel like rooms never just feel super finished, but that's kind of exciting too, because you can always be finding new pieces and changing the look. And when you have an eclectic space, it provides a lot of versatility and room to grow. After all, that's the essence of creating a classic space that's worth the investment, is that it will last over time. This estate sale was really cool. You could tell these people were definitely collectors of all kinds of art, but mainly like South American, Santa Fe style, and African. A lot of this stuff was actually sold out by the time I got here. I think this was a highly coveted sale that if you were into this kind of art, you showed up before it even opened. But I did find a few things here that I'll show you. I love these little racks that display their art. I think those were interesting, and I could see myself staining these and using them as a room divider, or they'd be great as plant stands like on a balcony. And then this box is just absolutely gorgeous. It's such nice wood. It was like $40 and I don't need a box that's $40, but I just loved admiring the craftsmanship of all the items here. I've mentioned in my videos before that finding little animal sculptures, or I guess you could call them tchotchkes or whatever it might be, that are made out of really nice materials like gold, brass, some of these are made out of stone, for example, or even really nice wood, are just super fun to pick up because usually they're pretty affordable when you buy them secondhand like this. And they bring so much personality to your bookshelf or your office desk or whatever it is. And they definitely give like a sculptural vibe, which I think just adds to your decor in general. If you've got a lot of angular shapes, maybe bringing something in that's more round or vice versa. It just provides a lot of depth and variation for the eye, and I think that that's what makes it so interesting. And beyond that, they're just really fun to look at.
Oh, look at this view. It's so nice.
Alrighty, we are back and I found some really good stuff. So first of all, I did not film the Kobe swap meet because it literally started raining and I just didn't have my phone out, and we were basically just putting our hats on and trying to like run around to see what we could find before it stopped raining. It eventually did, but I just didn't film anything because of that. So let me show you what I got there first. So the first thing I actually found were these two vintage IKEA desk lamps. They are really cool looking and the green is like quite intense, but I thought I could potentially spray spray paint these and use them in some room makeover or something, or I could maybe like resell them, but they were only $10 for both of them. So I was like, might as well pick it up, and I could always use something like this. I love like the office-y task lamp style. So I was thinking that maybe I could spray paint them like a glossy eggshell color, like a kind of off-white. So they look a little bit more vintage and maybe kind of like that plastic lacquer look that I had in my mood board, and maybe mount them on the headboard, and like each person could have their own reading light or something. So I don't know if I'm committed to that yet, but I have them on hand just in case. And then I think the only other thing I picked up was this really pretty like hand blown candy dish. It says on the bottom made in Poland, and I just absolutely love this. I think this is so unique and cool. I looked it up on Google Lens, and some of them were like $500. So I don't know if that's like this version, probably not, but I literally got this for $1. And I think it's just really pretty. I think it could totally like work in this space behind me. And if you found something like this and really liked it and didn't know what to do with it, I feel like you could use this as like a ring drop or necklace drop, or you know, you could put your earrings in here or something like that. I just think this is really pretty. It's super sculptural, and you could even just put it on like a bookshelf as like some really pretty kind of sculpture art, you know? Okay, so going to the first house, I'm sure you saw me pick this up, and of course I picked it up. It's so pretty. It's such a vibe for the house. I love this. If I do take my TV off the mantle, this would look amazing on it. Looks great on the dining room table. It's wrought iron and just super Spanish looking. I absolutely love this. And honestly, nothing was individually priced because I literally put a pile at like the register area, and I was like, how much would you charge me for all of this? So she said, how about $35? So I paid her $35 for everything that I'm gonna show you right now. I also picked up this enamelware double boiler. I would absolutely use this. It really needs a good cleaning, but these things are so durable, and I absolutely love the black and white. I think it's really classic. And anything enamelware I feel like is so transitional. You can put it in any type of design style and it just looks classic. But for example, with pricing, this says that it's $25, but I got the whole lot for $35. So obviously this was a really good deal. Next up is this little frame, and it's got this like feather art in it. I've actually got another one in my bookshelf over here that's a little bit bigger, and I just love the frame so much. And I think these are really like kind of artistic and cool. It's just like a really interesting piece, and even if you wanted to take out the art in here, this frame is so pretty and so ornate, and just, I love it. I love it so much. It's very much my vibe. Next up is this really amazing frame. I absolutely love this style of frame, and this one's in really good shape. These are usually really expensive too if you find them at like the Palm Springs flea market or something like that, especially when they come with art. I found one at an estate sale where I found my $25 rug, and it came with art, and I have it on my dining room wall, and I absolutely love it. I like how it's got like a darker red tone. This is more like of a reddish orange tone. And then I've got another one like this that I got from the Long Beach flea market, and it's got a green interior. But I just think these are great. And I like the fact that I have a couple of these, because if I put one in my dining room and one in my hallway and then one in my bedroom, and they're all set up in a different way with different types of art and all that, and they have different colors, but you can clock that the design is the same, it just kind of gives the space and the whole home a little bit more cohesion. And I think it feels kind of intentionally designed. So I always pick up frames if they're similar. Like I've got a ton of like chrome framed ones, and I use those all over the place. And I think it just kind of feels like, oh, I'm in the same home no matter what room I'm in, you know? So I picked up a lot of frames, so be prepared. I will just try to run through them quite quickly, but I wanted to call out this one I got at the first estate sale. It's just really nice because it's got this beautiful gold ornate frame, but it's super minimal. And it kind of reminds me of one I picked up a few videos ago. I'll put in a clip of that. And I think like pairing the two of them would be a really nice moment somewhere in the house. I also really like the matting in here. It's kind of like a fabric material, and it's really familiar to me. It's kind of iridescent and got a lot of like movement. It almost kind of replicates like a wood tone. If you know what this is, please let me know in the comments. Okay, moving on, I got this cute mug. I'm kind of into getting like really unique mugs lately. I want to like have some kind of fun collection. I got a really awesome one at an estate sale back in January. And so now I've been like on the hunt for more unique ones like that. This one's definitely not as unique, but I think it would go with the collection that I'm kind of creating. Hopefully I can kind of put them on display in the kitchen at some point, but I love how handmade this feels. It's also got like an artist signature on the bottom, and I just love the coloring and like the gradient. I think it's really pretty and it feels really nice to hold. So I think this might be my favorite pickup of the day. It's this Indian brass engraved vase. And usually these are like super shiny. And actually in one of my videos previous, when I talked about how to clean thrifted decor, I had 2 engraved Indian brass dishes, and you can kind of see what it would look like if it was more shiny. I'm obsessed with the tarnish / patina on this. I just feel like this is a really interesting aging process, and it's just so cool. It's like this dark black look. I feel like if I did clean it, because like, yeah, the inside is a lot more shiny, it would just look like one of those normal Indian dishes, but the fact that it's so dark and like oxidized is so cool to me. I absolutely love this. I think it's so rad, and it totally fits the vibe of this house. Okay, moving on to the next sale. This was not like the best sale, but they did have some really interesting things. And one thing I picked up that had no price, so they gave it to me for free actually, was this like little sculptural kind of round cube situation. I think this is fun. I've always mentioned having sculptural pieces on your bookshelf or whatever it may be is interesting, and I think it provides like personality and kind of just perspective, I guess. So this is super cute. And then the other thing I picked up that was similar, this was $5, is this little carved frog, and it was on the table with like all the turtles and the other frogs. And I just think it's so interesting. It's so cute. I love the style of it. It kind of feels Aztec or Mayan or something like that. I don't know. It's got a really interesting look to it. And I just like love having animal type sculptures on the bookshelf. I just think it's interesting. I also got this really pretty wind chime. It's like a glass sun face with like cast iron or bronze on the outer edges. And I think it's just really pretty. And I love having some like backyard decor out there. And then I also picked up a couple more frames. So the first one is a small chrome one. Like I said, I like to buy frames that are kind of matching with the other ones I have in the house, and I don't have a chrome one like this small. So I might put it on the dresser with like a picture of my partner and I in the bedroom or something. And then this one is small and pretty as well. It's kind of like a metal red one, and it's got like the leg on the back as well. So I could either hang this or put it on the dresser too, but I did want like a pop of red in the room, so this might be kind of nice. And then I found another tiny frame, which is not common. It's this like beveled glass green frame, and it does have a leg on the bottom as well. And I think this is so cute. And this is more of like a bluish green, so I don't know if I'll use it in the bedroom, but love it so much. And then I picked up this like 8x10 frame. It's just like a neutral wood tone and just super square. It's got like some really interesting jointery on the sides, which I thought was really nice. It's a super small detail that probably only I would recognize, but I thought it was really, you know, transitional around the house. It could kind of mix and match it anywhere. So this is just kind of good to have on hand, I guess. So sadly, I didn't find any furniture. I really want like a new dresser, a new headboard. I really want some interesting lamps. I mean, I found the vintage IKEA ones, but I'm still not like super decided if I'm gonna use those yet. So I'm just gonna have to like ramp up my secondhand shopping and just stay on Facebook Marketplace and just keep refreshing and looking and looking. Otherwise, I am kind of entertaining the idea of maybe purchasing a new rug. I found some that I like, but they're kind of in the $200 to $400 range, which is really not bad for a big rug, but I just want to try to save some money. And then other than that, I do really want some like really expensive bed sheets as well, or a duvet cover. So don't know where the money is actually going to be allocated, but surprisingly enough, on Facebook Marketplace, I saw a lot of people selling their sheets secondhand, and they were nice, like quince or Brooklinen or something like that, even like a parachute duvet. And I was like, wait a second, that's kind of an interesting idea to buy linen secondhand, because honestly, you just need to wash them as long as they're not like stained. But then I was like, is that kind of weird? I don't know. Like, it's definitely not weird because you can wash it. You can even wash it with water and alcohol. You could do so many different things. So, but let me know in the comments what you would do. Would you buy sheets secondhand if they were really chic and way more affordable than buying them new? I don't know. Other than that, I think that's it. Next week, I'm gonna check in with you with a DIY thrift flip video. I've got some really fun decor. I'm already working on it, really excited about it, and I think it's gonna add a super cool vibe to my room. Hopefully, some of them are not finished yet, but I think you'll like them. So make sure you subscribe and stay tuned for that, and like this video if you did. Other than that, I will see you guys next week. Bye.